I've spent the past 2 years of my life making a Roblox Project Sekai game. Now, I know that might seem a little bit silly at first, but just hear me out for a minute. Throughout the 2 years of development, I've never received the amount of support that I'm receiving right now. 25 is doing more than well, and I'd like to make this video to give some pointers on the main story of this game. Now, if you're unaware of 25 or you haven't played it yet, I do recommend you play the game first and immerse yourself in the story before you watch this video. I already explained the baseline of the story on a previous livestream I did on both YouTube and Twitch, but I'm making this video now so it can be easier to understand. Waking up from an odd dream, you play as an unnamed character in the Project Sekai universe trying to fit back into society after something unexplainable happened to their close friend. Preparing to study for their finals, they walk into the weekend garage where anomalies begin to arise. A familiar figure with white hair disappearing as soon as you get close, their own study notes not even seeming like they were written by them, as if something was trying to communicate with them. Brushing it off to just focus on studying, they walk outside the weekend garage and find that it's pouring rain. After rushing back into their house, they walk through the doors and stumble upon an eerie scene from the past. As the character experiences dissociation due to grief and depression, the world moves around them. They then fall through the floor and wake up in pjsekai. The pjsekai represents their mind. Kanade's presence in this part of the mind represents the part of them that refuses to let go. The player speaks to Kanade stating, "Have we spoken before? Like this?" In which Kanade responds with, "In pieces and echoes, in dreams that you don't recall when you wake." This signifies that this isn't the first time the player has gone through this before, with suppression being a coping mechanism that they use pretty often. Walking through a door labeled "Enter the Dream," the player then finds themselves in a flashback where they're reliving a memory of cleaning their room. This causes them to spiral into another fragmented memory of the past where Kanade and the player are at the park together. Upon speaking to Kanade, she says, "Just promise me, when I'm not around, don't let the silence swallow you." The next section of the game is when they wake up in their school, unsure if this is another dream as they are now in control. Sitting in the same desk as usual, An reassures them that they're just out of tune and offers some melon bread, and when walking outside into the hall, the player finds a guitar that seems familiar. This guitar brings back memories of Kanade and Ichika interacting with each other when producing music. Interacting with the guitar triggers memories that forces the player back into the pjsekai, the part of their mind where they are once again greeted by Kanade. The player then confronts Kanade, stating that they remember everything but who she is, where she then emphasizes the suppression the player experienced by saying, "That's because you've buried the parts that hurt you the most." After the end of that conversation, the player has to walk into another door named Confronting. Now waking up in Phoenix Wonderland, the player wonders if Kanade ever knew how loved she was before the disappearance. The player then has to fix 3 generators, which alone is not important to the story, but includes dialogue that is. Fixing the first generator prompts the player to say, "I always thought I had time to tell her I'd be there." Fixing the second generator prompts them to say, "A spark. That's all it should take. But sometimes a spark isn't enough." And fixing the third generator prompts them to say, "I thought I could fix everything. Fix her." It's all filled with deep feelings of regret, regretting that they couldn't do anything to stop Kanade from disappearing. The next section of the game, the player wakes up in Kanade's room. This switches the POV from the player to Kanade herself, as she's seen getting ready for a recording session at a studio mumbling, "I need to get this right. Just one more take." The POV then switches back to the player, where they're walking to the same recording room except without Kanade this time. Text popping up as they walk stating, "This isn't the first time I've forgotten. Not once have I truly remembered melancholic dreams that I can't quite ever recall." This causes the player to get a sense of remembrance and starts to realize what went wrong. "She used to text me after every performance. How'd I sound? Was I good enough? I should have told her she was perfect." When the player arrives at the studio, it's shown that without Kanade there to record with them, it just doesn't feel the same. They're still struggling to stay in the present time of the recording room, and the player is still seen to be stuck in the past. so much so it's affecting their daily life outside of their fragmented mind. The player is then sent into another version of empty Sekai, one without Kanade to represent the realization that she is truly gone. The player then walks to the same door that's been here all this time, confronting. The player walks up to the rooftop where they meet on once again. Someone who's been with them throughout their tough times, and someone who truly cares. They both now reminisce about Kanade, and An reminds the player that they can't stay stuck in the past forever, reassuring them before the player begins to walk to the outer part of the rooftop. It's farewell. This is my first time writing a script for a video and my first time recording a voiceover. It was very difficult, but for the people who have played and supported my game, thank you. It really means the whole world to me. It gives me motivation to keep working on this project so I can give you guys more content to enjoy. I've already shown a sneak peek of 25 sequel on my stream, but I'll go ahead and show a small preview here right now anyways. Bye bye!